Hello, guys. I'm so excited to be here. I have invited some special guest, which is my client, Melissa Kelly. She's Roar Magazine. She's founder of Roar Magazine, and she wanted to share with you her story of how she overcome her blockages, how she uh, overcome her struggles regards food and her gut issues, as well how she learned to tap into her intuition so that her body can tell her what foods need to be taken for her in a certain time and certain moment. And the journey is still an ongoing process, but we decided we will come here and share with you from all our heart so that inspires you as well. Take the leap and take the action towards it. So please, Melissa, introduce yourself.
Thank you, Ines, for having me here. I have been super blessed to have you as my coach, basically, on this nutritional journey. And I mean, you have been a blessing for me, so I totally appreciate it. I am and creator of Roar Fierce Feminine Rising magazine. It's a women's empowerment magazine is centered around self-love and self-empowerment for women and creates this sisterhood. I started having this journey of struggling with my own body and gut health issues. It feels like forever. Basically, I got so used to being in a level of discomfort that it was just a normal thing for me. It's like I didn't even realize that something was off until it got to the point where I had to do something about it. Thankfully, Ines had already been on my journey in different ways, and I was super excited to start working with her. So I knew intuitively that she was the right person to reach out to.
Thank you, Melissa. Thank you. I will be asking you a couple of questions, and that's how we'll get along with this conversation. And
Okay.
I wanted to also you to share what did you try before you started to work with me? How long did it happen for you, and why it wasn't successful?
I have been doing my own research for quite a long time, and I think I had like bits and pieces that were starting to come together, but I just didn't know how to implement it into like the right sequence of like what to eat and when, how much, um, what my body needed at the time. I was definitely ignoring the cues, and I needed to learn how to listen on a quieter level and a deeper level as opposed to waiting for like the symptoms to get like in my face, which it needed to for me to hear what was wrong or what wasn't working properly.
And why was it important for you to take that step now and not wait for another year to come? Because hey, we all want to figure out ourselves.
Oh my God, I got so tired of not being comfortable in my own skin and my own body. I grew up feeling confident about my body and feeling good about my weight. And I just had this bloating that I couldn't quite figure out and couldn't get rid of. And it always made me feel a combination of stuff. It would be feeling kind of not good about my body, and then guilt and shame would kick in. And it was a cycle of eating food that wasn't good for me or wasn't reacting well with my body. Sometimes it could be something healthy and it was still just reacting. It's my body was getting hypersensitive to everything at that point. I guess because they did have the gut health issue and I wasn't sure. I thought I had a food allergy for a while.
I see. And also, like, what were your results? Because we started to work together, I would say 8 weeks from now on. And what results did you gain from working with me for this time?
Okay, well, let me, without having to go into the whole session with everybody and kind of putting it into a shorter form, I mean, you absolutely changed my life. For one, you don't just focus on nutrition, you focus on the energetic and the emotions that are being held in the area of the body that you're having issues with. For example, I was holding everything in my gut. Um, and when you took me down a journey of kind of healing that, you literally healed like probably one of the biggest wounds I've ever carried, and that I didn't even realize I was still carrying. So the shifts that have happened since then have been immense. I'm having a hard time keeping up with them because it's like on all levels of my life, from like, my exterior to like I've adopted the lifestyle of minimalism. So I've gotten rid of so much stuff and so much declutter. I feel so much lighter, and like I've stepped into like my full purpose and power as far as like a human being, and like just allowing myself to just be exactly who I am supposed to be, as opposed to holding myself back or having, you know, those emotional blocks that were there from the shit that I didn't even know I was still carrying.
Yes, yes, it's so powerful, Melissa, because we don't really realize that it's not only the food or our symptoms. They tell a lot more than just, the some kind of, oh, what is this rush coming from, right? There is more energetical meaning towards it, but it takes time for you to realize that, to tap into it, and then when you realize that, then the intuition is a part of it. So share with us how actually you like, because what I teach is like how to intuitively start eating from rather following the step by step Monday till Friday. That's what you eat. This measure how this was applied for yourself. How did you learn how this intuition was rising within your choices?
It's becoming more aware of why you're eating, and not just what you're eating, but why you're eating. So like really tapping into, if you're going to go grab that food that's not really good for you, that's going to cause that thing, how are you going to feel afterwards? And also like what are the emotions that are coming up that I should be looking at that I'm trying to suppress with grabbing this food right now? So really paying attention to your intentions behind what you're about to do really makes a huge difference in the way that you, I don't know, take care of yourself, self nurture, self nourish, and also kind of tapping into what kind of foods really make me feel amazing. You know, what makes me feel vibrant and full of energy and good about my, does my body like just adore, you know, or what is it really maybe not adoring that I'm still feeding it because like I think it's a treat, but really my body is like reacting to it later. Why am I ignoring that?
Yes, and there are so many times we still keep doing in terms of like we know it's gonna harm us, but we still like, yeah, let me just have that. I know I'm gonna suffer on the next day, or it's the same with
Hmm.
alcohol or anything else. And when you actually put your mind and then you see it very clearly, then your choices are made differently on that spot. On that, first of all, like awareness, like which I was the other teaching you as well, and then what can you like then make a choice, yes or no,
Hmm.
are you willing to go which route, basically.
Yeah,
Thank you.
and also having like a go-to alternative helps in the moment. Like with the chocolate, for example, that you gave me, I'm a huge chocolate person, and giving me an alternative that's a bit healthier, just to kind of take the edge off when I am craving it. It helps shift the behavior.
Yes, yeah, we just it's a way of tricking our brain but still giving what our body needs, which in chocolate there are many chemicals that our body would be desire, like the one of them is like happy hormones we want, and then the other one is iron, and then the soothing effect. So what if we can have that without the like sugar and milk, right? So yes, thank you, and I'm so proud of you that you made one of my chocolate that I created. Beautiful.
Oh, I love it. It's delicious. You don't need to thank me. I thank you.
Also, Melissa, what would your life look like if you would still wait? Like if you would not, if you still would be in the same place and wouldn't decide to work with me. How would your life look like?
It's funny. I don't think I would have been able to really see how much of a difference you made unless I started this process and this journey. And I can now look back, even only the short amount of time that it's been like it's mind blowing. When I look at the photos, when I look at how I was functioning in my life before with like way less clarity and focus, um, I just wonder, you know, I could see in all the ways that I was holding myself back from being my highest self.
Uh-huh. And thank you, Melissa. I also remember one of your results was that you were texting me about the weight, which wasn't our goal.
Yeah.
Our goal was to heal your gut.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. The goal was to heal the gut. And yes, I've been losing weight in that process. Um, it's interesting because I was eating healthy before, but I wasn't seeing the results. And then I would have food here and there that was affecting my body that I shouldn't have. And after going through this process of really getting to the root cause, which was the emotion that was holding on to this, that was causing all the stress in the first place, allowed my body to start healing and doing what it needed to do naturally, right? And then with your support, kind of understanding how to make it function smoother and give it that nourishment in the process of getting back to itself.
Yes, and I wish this for anyone that are still looking around and still wondering, because this is the key. This is the key for, and it's actually, don't you think, Melissa, it's as simple at the end? Like it doesn't have to be complicated.
No, it doesn't have to be complicated. I mean, I have my moments where it's interesting when in the moments where I struggle with things like maybe like meal prep or different things like that, I can see it's my own stuff coming up that still needs to heal, or it's really interesting. So instead of like what I've been used to in the past, where I'm just given by a nutritionist food to eat and this is what I follow, um, it goes way deeper. It's way more of a life change. And then in that process, you learn intuitively what your body needs and wants, and you learn to listen to that. So that is kind of where the food comes in, as opposed to just being handed a list of what to eat.
Yes, because we are not robots. Yes, our human bodies are kind of the same, but the needs are different, slightly different from the lifestyle, from the demands, the stress levels. Everyone is different. You can't give the same recipe like chickens, and this is for you, this is for you, and everyone is the same. We are not.
Yeah,
And then
dependent on weight, right? Like that's how it's been. Yeah, exactly.
exactly, yeah. So it's not. Uh, it's more into more energetically speaking. We are more than that, and that's why I'm here to show this, that there is a way without counting calories, without stressing yourself about missing out something. It's more about life. It has to be simple, so light it up, and then yes, the weight loss will come, the healing will come, you will start to feel more energetic. So it all comes together as a package. It's just understanding it and tapping into it. Melissa, I would like to for you to share what is your biggest takeaway from all this concept that we talked about, that you learned. What is your biggest takeaway that you can take away and then keep it for the rest of your life?
I Well, I also want to add that I haven't been working out as I should be, as a normal person should be, due to like I'm post concussion and different things like that. So I haven't been working out the way that one would when they're on a nutrition plan, and I still seen the results. So that's something that I definitely want to add there. And sorry, what was your question again?
Which is true as well. Again, right? Regards the exercising, you don't have to exhaust yourself and train as per because we are not in competition that we need to run at this moment. Of course, everyone has their own goals and desires, but our body might be exhausted, and then take that in action, and then step into the feminine energy and give it a rest. And that's what I learned from myself. And this is what you also tapped into, which is great. And I was like, yep, she's on it. Beautiful. But my Melissa question was, what is your biggest takeaway from all this concept we just spoke about, like that you could take with and just learn from it?
It's so hard to put it into words because like I'm sitting in it right now, seeing it even all around me as I'm like sitting in my apartment and seeing how things have shifted on a major level. You've shifted my perception on how it all works as far as nutrition and dieting and working out all the time. I was definitely a person that would always push myself at the gym, and that was kind of what I felt would work. But even when I was working out consistently, like crazy, it still wasn't giving me the results that I wanted. So it's a really interesting, different perspective shift that I think that you're offering to people, and helping women tap into a whole different way of being and living and dropping into their feminine energy and eating with intention. and healing those parts of themselves that are holding back themselves from being their higher self or at their full potential.
Thank you, Melissa. I think it's very, 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 very valuable information because this, if that's your realization, that could be for any other women around the world that would like to be in this position that you are right now. Because this is the bridge. This is how you get there. It's just a matter of taking steps and then taking the action and allowing somebody to guide you and coach you and lead you towards that. Because
Mm-hmm.
I'm I'm still, even though we finished our course, it's like I'm still with you. You can still ask me questions. I'm still going to support you in anything you need. Um, so thank you so much for trusting me as well. And then taking the actions, taking the steps, and I can see the results. And I really, really appreciate, because nothing matters more for me than your results. Seeing you shine, seeing like from where you were and now. This is beautiful. I think everyone should know about it.
No,
Melissa,
thank you so much.
is there anything else you want to add before we wrap this interview with you?
Yeah, just that I think what you've tapped into is unlike anything that's out there. And I think that it is more than worth the money. Like I paid in Canadian, which made it double than, and I still would pay it again. Like it's absolutely it's really getting to the root cause of just getting rid of the stuff that's holding you back from living at your full potential.
Yes. And the session when we had the nutritional therapy, so it was a consultation about nutritional therapy, but I felt
Mhm.
that we need to go deeper than that. And then
Oh, absolutely.
this is where the shift happened. This is where the magic. It was like, yeah, it's nutrition, but wait a second, there is something deeper than that, and this is the key to success. So that unlock that old something that is stuck there, the blockage. Just tap into it, and then let it come to the surface, and let it go. Basically, that's what it happens. So I have come through this journey myself, and therefore I'm happy to be serving you. And yeah, I look forward to seeing you shine, Melissa, from now on. And keeping
No, and
up
thank
with.
you for the support you continue to give me this whole time. I wasn't expecting it to be such a support the whole way. I figured after the first session you'd just check in with me in a month's time, but no, you've been a support the whole time.
Yeah, which I don't say much, just I'm gonna be like next to you 24/7, but I am, because I think it's very important that you understand it. Rather, you are given something and then you're like, yeah, 2 weeks later you're like, nah. But for me, it's very important to have results, and I'm seeing results in you, and that's my reward, the best reward I can ever ask for. Um, Thank you, Melissa, for your time. I appreciate you being here and sharing your presence. And I am seeing you very soon.
Oh, I can't wait, love. Thank you
Thank you
so
so
much for this journey.
much. Thank you.